From Science and Cognitive Science to Enlightenment. Short study on consciousness and free will. Big questions. The most fundamental questions of philosophy are general questions about cosmos as everything and about human beings as ourselves. The most fundamental question about everything, what is everything and how does everything act, correspond to the most fundamental questions concerning human beings. What is human consciousness, mind and phenomenal mind, and how human consciousness might act. Science and philosophy and a human being. Independently from valuable insights of old-school philosophy during ages, philosophical reflection on science, philosophy in science, natural philosophy, and reflection on cognitive science, philosophy in cognitive science, philosophy of mind, and science itself are quickly replacing traditional philosophical, rather blurry and often contradictory discourse. Speaking to Google's Zeitgeist conference in Hertfordshire, Stephen Hawking, the author of A Brief History of Time, who died today, said that the fundamental questions about the nature of the universe could not be resolved without hard data such as this currently being derived from the Large Hadron Collider and space research. Most of us don't worry about this question most of the time, but almost all of us must sometimes wonder, why are we here? Where do we come from? Traditionally, these are questions for philosophy, but philosophy is dead, Stephen Hawking said. Philosophers have not kept up with modern developments in science, particularly physics. Of course, philosophy in science and cognitive science and science itself do not give answers for all questions. Cognition of cosmos and consciousness is an endless process. However, they give some enlightening insights about nature of everything and especially about nature of ourselves. According to philosophy in science and cognitive science, two fundamental pillars of philosophy of mind, consciousness and free will, seem to collapse. Separate and free will. First of all, we human beings understand what is mechanical, what can be described with a pattern. No pattern, no understanding. If we act in a mechanical way, we cannot find ourselves more than robots. Our free will is a beautiful illusion. We follow in a mechanical way all patterns written in the laws of nature. If there is any separate, independent, real free will, it's only the free will of whole cosmos, universe, everything whatsoever. If we do not act in a mechanical way, then we do not fully understand the causes, reasons of our actions. According to science, the reason of this ignorance could be either randomness or lack of knowledge, unknown cause. However, these reasons are more likely to be assigned to the whole cosmos universe than to ourselves. Could it be really me who is random or just unknown? Again, our free will is a rather beautiful illusion than some real third option between full determinacy by known or unknown patterns or fundamental randomness. The above understanding is strengthened with the most important neurobiological experiment by Benjamin Libet on free will. Measuring EEG, Libet recognized that the process leading to voluntary act is initiated unconsciously, well before the conscious will to act appear. That also implies that free will is an illusion. Unknown or unconscious reason of our action cannot be voluntary, born from conscious will. Separate and independent consciousness. Do you imagine a consciousness without free will? Would a consciousness without an intentional coloration, will, desire, regret, miss, etc., still be a consciousness at all? Independently from high-level standards for consciousness regarding free will, we assume that consciousness is separate and independent unity. However, science shows that absolute separation of any entity, finite description in formal way, is ultimately impossible. It results both from mathematics, like see problem of infinity, problem of randomness, Gödel theorems, and from physics, quantum mechanics, uncertainty principle, and problem of quantum observer. Science and religion, really. Finally, there is no yourself and there is no your independent and free will. There is only the one and the one free will. The truth is that we are one with the cosmos, universe, everything. If the one understands the God this way, then we are one with the God too. Any separation from anything is ultimately illusory. However, illusion of consciousness and free will does not make them more illusory than anything else. They are still the most beautiful illusions that we can experience. Enjoy them till you can.